G'day guys, it's Simon, the Project Communications Officer at the West Midlands Group. Today's video is going to be an update on the previous Terria-Cube video. If you haven't seen that, it's a video on how to check bare ground and ground cover using satellite imagery, free satellite imagery software available on the net. Now, Terria-Cube has changed its name to the Australian National Maps, and so basically it's going to be quite a similar situation as the previous video, but there are a few things that have changed. So I'm just going to run through those right from the start and show you how to check your ground cover and your bare ground using some satellite imagery. And so the first thing you want to do is pull up your search engine of choice. I'm going to use Google because it's the most popular at this point in time. And then you can see that I've searched it before, but what we're going to do is look for Australian National Maps, and you want to type that in and hit enter, and it's going to be the first option that pops up here on your left hand side. So you're looking for www.nationalmap.gov.au if you want to search for it in another fashion. But at this point in time, we're going to left click on the first link, about National Map, and that'll bring us straight to the site. Now, this page is a bit of an introduction to it and tells you a little bit about National Maps and how it's changed over the last period of time. But for the time being, we're just going to get straight into it. So we're going to jump up into the menu at the top here, and what we want to do is select Launch National Map. So I've left clicking on that, and straight away it pulls up the globe for you. Now, what's changed since the last video, and this is a great addition, is that they've included some really good onboarding or a tutorial and a tour about National Maps and how it can be used. And so in your own time, feel free to look through that. It's a powerful resource, and it's great if you want to kind of use the other features and stuff that are available on here. But for the time being, what we're going to do is jump out of this straight away. So I just want to cross that on the top right hand side there, and there's the map of Australia that we're all used to seeing. And so what we're going to do now is utilize this location search bar on the left hand side here, and we're going to enter a location to search. So you can either put down your postal address or your home address or your GPS coordinate if you want to find a very particular part of a paddock. But for the time being, and for this, I'm going to search my own property. So that's lot 105, Paddocks Road, Dandaragan. Right, now you can see that it's located it down here for me already, and so it's got that little pin drop on there. It also gives me a couple options here, but don't worry about those at the time being. Just locate the one that you want and left click on that. So that's 105 Paddocks Road. Yep, and immediately it's going to zoom me straight down to that plot. Now, the beauty of using GPS points from here is that it's really going to go straight to where you want to see if you have the GPS plots for your paddock or somewhere that you want to look at. But it's as simple as left clicking and dragging around if you want to use a visual way of searching. So by all means you can do that. You can also use the scroll on your mouse to scroll in and out, to zoom in and out, to get a little bit of a more bird's eye view, or there are some navigation options here on the right hand side, very similar to Google Earth or Google Maps if you've used those before. But now that we have located the property that I want to look at, or the paddock that I want to look at, what I want to do is get the overlay on there. We want to see the satellite overlay that shows the bare ground percentage. So to do that, we need to jump into Explore Map Data, and that's found over here on the left hand side just underneath the search bar, and I'm going to click on Explore Map Data. Now there's a whole bunch of options here, but specifically for this I'm going to show you how to find the fractional ground cover, so the bare ground cover satellite overlay. So in this list you want to scroll down a little bit, it's in alphabetical order. We're going to be looking for satellite images, and that's just there. I'm going to left click on that, and then down a little further we're going to go into land and vegetation. And underneath here we have a few options, but we're going to go for DEA fractional cover. Left click on that one. And lastly, you've got two options in here, and we're just going to go for the first one, which is DEA fractional cover Landsat. I'm going to press that plus button there, add, so that's adding the overlay. Now, you might not initially see something, and that's because the satellite obviously comes over and records data, and it doesn't pass over every day, rather every couple of weeks in this sense. And so what we're going to do is find the date that it passed over this area, and we can get that data as easily as possible. So what we want to do is, firstly, change the style over to bare ground, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking at bare ground here. So I've just selected under styles here. Initially, it'll say 3-band fractional cover, but you just want to click on that and then choose bare ground. So that's our bare ground cover now. Again, we can't see anything here yet, so we're going to find exactly where we want to be. So the easiest way to do that is to select filter by location, and I'm going to left click on that. And now it gives me an option. It says select a point by clicking on the map. So I'm just going to click right here, left click on the map, and it's automatically going to search. So it says querying position there, and as you can see, it's pulled up that overlay straight away. Now, at this point in time, it's quite difficult to see what's underneath that overlay, and so we're going to have to deal with that straight away. We can see that the map image is still there underneath, but this overlay is obscuring our point of view. The overlay is the percentage of pixels that is bare soil, so it's showing you that bare soil level with a colour scheme from 0 being white towards a dark purple kind of colour being 100% bare ground. And so the first thing we need to do, so we can kind of see both images at once, is to change the opacity of the layover. And so opacity is found just here. You want to left click and grab that little button and drag it back down a bit. Generally speaking, I think around 70% works best, so you can still see what's going on underneath. You can visually see the paddock, but at the same time, you can also see that layover, and neither of them are too obscured.